Let's take a look at controllers and constraints in this video. So I have three simple teapots, and we're going to take a look at two different constraints on these two. A look at constraint on this teapot, a pat constraint on this one, and a noise controller on this teapot over here. But before that, let's take a look at this teapot over here. And right now, this is just a default teapot. And if you go to the motion panel under Assign Controller, you can see the transform is your position, rotation, and scale. Under position, you have position XYZ. Under rotation, you have Euler or Euler XYZ, and scale is just Bezier scale. So if I wanted the scale to be like a position XYZ with the XYZ showing like this, I can simply go here, click on this button, Assign Controller, and I can select anything I want, but in this case I can just say, give me a scale XYZ, and there you go. That's my scale XYZ showing up right now. So on this one right now, what we're going to do is we're going to apply a noise controller. So on the rotation. So I can go to the rotation, I can go to Assign Controller, and I can say Assign Noise Rotation. One more way to do that would be to go to Animation, Rotation Controllers, Noise. So just two different ways to do it. So let's do it from here right now. You can see under rotation right now, it's gone to a rotation list now, and I have Euler XYZ, which is the first controller that was already there. And then the reason it says list is because now I have, under that I have the noise rotation. And then on this available, I can apply a third one, and it can go on and on and on. So right now on the noise rotation, you can see there's simply noise rotation and Bezier 0.3. So I can just right click on this, go to properties, and here's the noise controller properties. So right now if I just hit play, you can see the noise, the teapot is going crazy. So let's say if we wanted to show something like this was underwater and kind of just floating, I can turn off fractal noise, I can go to the frequency, take it down, let's say 0.05, and let's say the strength down to 2 by 2 by 2. We can also give a ramp in, which is this part, and out, so how you can you can see right there, straighten it out. Let's just hit play right now, and you can see it's slowly getting there. And I can further apply more controllers and get this to look really realistic. But that's how you do a noise controller. On this one, I'm going to do a look at constraint. And what this is a simple point helper, which I just made from here, point helper. So let's go to the teapot. I'll say animation constraints, look at constraint. And you can see it's giving me a dotted line to select the look at target. So I'm just going to select this point helper. And right here, you can see that the teapot kind of flipped, it kind of rotated a little up. So what you want to do is you want to go to this one and say keep initial offset. You can see it kind of brings it back. And now you can see that I can nicely, when I move the point helper, the teapot is always looking at where the point helper is. Which is great for a lot of things, but especially for characters, like eyes on characters. This is how you would rig eyes. You would say, you know, if your characters want to look here, 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 and so on. The next thing we're going to see is on this teapot over here, we're going to see a simple path constraint. So how we can put the teapot on this path. So the teapot selected, this is a simple curve I've made. I'm going to go to its position and go to this little assign controller and assign a path constraint. Let's say OK. Over here, it's going to ask me to select a path. Add path is going to be this path. And right now you can see the teapot is just going from 0 to 100 like this, which is kind of not realistic. So you got to go down a few checkboxes. Let's turn this off. You can have multiple paths if you want. Follow is one thing I like, so it's nicely following. I can also change the axis from here, flip it if I want to. But also banking is something I like, how the teapot is going to bank along the curves. Now this is a little too much of banking, but you can take the bank amount down over here. So there you go, that's your controllers and constraints.